Shelly Lona Aphra was born to Corn and Lona Aphra on 24 BBY. A duration of her childhood was actually spent growing up on the second moon of Thrinatic, a more obscure Star Wars location. We do know, however, that this system was left relatively unscathed by the Clone Wars and subsequent Empire takeover. Aphra's family became broken when Aphra's parents separated due to her father's obsession with the Ordo Aspectu, a forgotten group of ancients that disappeared a millennia prior to the birth of Aphra. This led to Aphra and her mother relocating to the Arbiflux forest world in the Outer Rims, and Aphra's life became marred by tragedy when her mother was killed during a raid of her home. Ultimately, this led to the creation of Aphra's unique personality. After the tragedies that took place, Aphra would later on go on to study at the University of Barleth, ironically by way of a grant from the Empire. And as mentioned before, Aphra did grow up taking after her father's love of archaeology, not only attending the university, but also becoming well-versed in aspects that were probably, I would imagine, banned from learning: the Jedi Order, the Force, and whatnot. In university, she somehow became the understudy of someone who hated her so much that his sole mission was to prevent her from becoming anything of significance in the field of archaeology. Essentially, she blackmails her professor, claims his project to her own credit, and earns her doctorate title. And if you want more detail on this portion of the series, I would check out the Dr. Aphra wiki fandom, or you can go straight to the source and check out the Dr. Aphra 2016 comic book run. During this time, Aphra kept on pursuing her work, selling artifacts for monies, making great finds, betraying a few people in the process, and just blazing her own trail. And though Aphra did maintain a lone wolf mentality, she did see the Empire in a more positive light until the destruction of Alderaan. Ironically, shortly after the destruction of Alderaan, she was recruited by Darth Vader after he learned of her work on droideka upgrades, along with her new droid counterparts, 000 and BT. It's essentially C-3PO gone rogue and R2-D2 gone rogue, loaded with ammo and rockets and any deadly explosives you could think of. Aphra's adventures at this point with Vader were primarily to further a secret agenda by Darth Vader, and this time, Dr. Aphra also became acquaintanced with Black Chrysanthemum, an outcast Wookiee turned bounty hunter. Not to the surprise of Aphra, Vader would try to kill her at the end of their agreement for work, as Vader couldn't have any knowledge of his secret project coming back to the Emperor. And after angering Darth Vader in a meeting with the Emperor nonetheless, Vader actually jettisoned her into space, but was rescued in good time by the people we mentioned before: Black Chrysanthemum, BT, and 000. After Aphra is saved, there are so many cool heists that take place, crossovers with other notable characters, and new planets. There's just way too many for me to go into detail at this time. As you can guess, Vader figures out that Aphra is still alive and returns to try to kill her, but he's ultimately outsmarted, and some by the archaeologist. In these times, we also learn more about Aphra's love life, which is partial to men and women, but also her robust ways in which she went about her work. Aphra takes her romance semi-seriously, but is always business first, leaving pleasure as something of a side quest. Constantly backstabbing people and finding ways to gain credit and fame continue to be the method for Aphra for the duration of the comic book series, leading into the new one. Please do check out the Aphra series. From one massive Star Wars fan, I promise you that whether you're a beginner or a womp rat in the sewers of Tatooine, you're in for a true treat. Until next time, younglings, may the Force be with you.